yoga, legs up the wall, Viparati Karani. Now the version that I prefer is ironically the legs not against the wall. I'll explain why in a moment. It's a beginner friendly pose, this one. Most people can do this one. I usually include it near the end of a workout. And it's a gentle inversion. There are versions where the pelvis, there's nothing underneath the pelvis or bum. So for me, we're not using that as a prop. That is the pose. It wants to be an inversion, a gentle inversion. So the pelvis needs to be raised up. The bum needs to be raised up so the pelvis is higher than the heart. And in an ideal world, the heart higher than the head. But for what we're into now for yin yoga, for this course, just some sort of bolster or support underneath the bum. The legs are close together but not touching. There's a slight bend in the knees. And you're sort of trying to drape the feet towards the face. And it's just that. It's a really go nowhere pose in the sense that I'm not aiming to do too much with it. It's a very, very relaxing pose. Within Hatha Yoga, it's classed as both an asana if you prefer, a bandha and a mudra. It's a very, very surprising, relaxing pose. Now, as again, a number of versions have the arms down by the sides. I always prefer to try and get more bang from a buck, and I find it more relaxing to either have the arms in a cactus position, so you're stretching off the internal rotators of the shoulder joint, or better still, arms above the head, and if possible, can one hand hold each elbow, or each hand hold the elbow. Now for me personally, in that position, I need some support underneath the elbows or the hands in that position. Providing the arms are above the shoulders, you're also bringing in the lung meridian and the heart meridians. Very soothing, restorative pose, this one. So again, the bolster isn't used as a prop. I like to have the pelvis raised up. So that's the legs up the wall where they're not actually up the wall. So Tanya's now going to show us and demonstrate the actual legs up the wall. It's good to get, it's hard getting in and out of this pose, certainly getting into it. Lying on your side proves beneficial first. So we're trying to be like little Jack Horner, trying to get our bums as close to the corner of the wall as we can. Rotate the legs literally up the wall. So again, the preference is what the pose actually is. The pelvis must be lifted. Ideally the pelvis above the level of the heart. So if you can actually do it wrong, Tanya, can you have it? And this is what I tend to see a lot. People extend the legs and they hyperextend, especially, Tanya's quite good and able at getting her bum right into the corner. Can you demonstrate it wrong, Tanya? Can you move your bum well away from the corner? Well away from the wall. Now the danger when people are like this is they lap the leg and they hyperextend in the knees. And you don't want that. So from that position, if you were that far away from the wall, and that's all some people can get, you've got to have a slight bend in those knees. Obviously the wall has taken a lot of it away. And some people prefer it against the wall. You find it quite more yin-like. For me personally, it's just a personal preference. I prefer the first version that we did. It's surprisingly passive. I'm not going to go into too many variations, but there's loads you can do if you're right up against the wall. No, don't use that. So just go right into the wall again, Tanya. Yeah, getting in there is hard. This is what most people, especially if they've got certain issues, especially the larger person, it's difficult just getting in against the wall, which again is why I prefer it on the mat. So what you can do is keep the legs straight. One version is to open the legs as wide as you possibly can. You're bringing in the adductors there, the adductor stretch. Or you can go into butterfly with the soles of the feet are together, trying to drop the knees out. And that's Viparati Karani, legs up the wall with a few variations there.